Just start it off and I'll interrupt it. No. No intro. No intro. No.
What?
We're not doing any intro today.
What? The band's ready.
Cut!
The band can take the night off.
The horns are here.
I don't care if the horns are here. We have no time for this. We have no time for these shenanigans, this buffoonery.
Cut this man's music.
Nick, are you
We have
dropping
things
pipe
to do. We have things to do. We have lots.
The band got paid anyway.
Well, the band can get paid and they can have a great short night and they can go do whatever they need to do. Man. I'm not stopping.
Let's get ready for Borat 3. So
thank you,
man. All right.
Right. We have no time for this mess. We have a lot to get into. Okay. The start we have your boy Bielsa knocking off Man City. We have Real Madrid taking out Barcelona. We have all kinds of craziness abouts. Lucy Rushton has left Atlanta United. What?
I didn't see that one coming.
The second all-time woman GM in the league.
Yeah, second. There were a few people who missed one.
Right. And so, first of all, congratulations.
Everybody is a few
You're so
people
sad.
that are leaving, unless you were associated with San Jose.
Right. We have a lot to get into. Jason has to cut a promo for his win this week. Man, if you don't cut a promo, I swear to God.
I'm kind of bored at this point, to be honest.
Wow.
Word.
5 of 8.
That is a promo in and of itself.
Exactly.
To be fair.
Exactly. 5 of 8.
That's like if Drew McIntyre had the belt and is standing in the ring telling Vince, "Bring me somebody worthy."
Yeah, basically.
Actually, Roman should do that. That's absolutely what Roman should do tonight.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Get out there with Paul Heyman and just say, no. I beat 2 of them at the same. Give me a real challenge.
Well, but wait a minute though. Edge also pinned Daniel Bryan,
but he was getting pinned. That's a dumb argument.
I'm just looking.
He was getting pinned. How do you win a match if you're getting pinned?
It depends on when the first pin landed.
It was a simultaneous count.
But no, he didn't start counting when Edge was on top of Bryan. He started counting when Reigns was on top.
See, there we go.
If they try to go down that road, it's stupid. And people who are saying that it makes sense, no, you're all wrong. You're all wrong.
Controversy, as they like to say.
You can't win a match when you're getting pinned.
Okay, so we have that. I think we have VAR shenanigans.
Always
we have
that.
Champions League. We have Argentine insanity taking place. Referees getting fired.
Allegedly.
Jason walking away with the cheapest win. Maybe since the Kevin Nash.
Yippee.
The finger poke.
Ha ha ha.
Hogan finger poke.
I was going to win anyway.
The finger poke.
That was just a victory lap.
So all I have to say is we have a lot to get into, and so where do we want to start?
We could go a lot of different directions here. Let's start, because we didn't talk about it a lot this morning. The Leeds Manchester City, Marcelo Bielsa, finally getting a win over Pep Guardiola. He did it with 10 men for the most part. There was a red card in this one. If you look at the stills, you're like, red card, that's easy. What's the conversation here? When you look at the actual play, it's a little trickier to deal with. It's always one of those things where when you follow through and catch somebody, you put yourself at risk by playing the ball the way you did, but what are you supposed to do? Not play the ball. That's kind of what we're here to do. So I'd like for referees to be consistent and explain to us how we're supposed to play those situations. But you got to give Leeds a ton of credit. And I thought Pep nailed it when the draw for Champions League happened, and they were talking about like the schedules and what teams had in between. And, Real Madrid had the El Clasico in between. Everybody's freaking out. And Pep's like, Leeds is the worst team to play in between legs of a Champions League because of what they make you do. In this case, they made them lose. And it's just what Bielsa's done, I felt like I was really out on a limb going into the season when I thought they could be 10th. I was like, man, like nobody does that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing that. And it's amazing to watch, and just what he gets out of the players he has is just incredible.
They were my side bet to get relegated this year. I didn't think they would be able to keep. Yeah, they were. And I have to see, look, here's the one thing.
John, you were on that show.
Well, the thing is that I said it, and I think I said it in such a cavalier manner that it just kind of went like.
Oh no, I was angry about it.
Well, I know you were angry about it.
I was ticked.
But I will say that my thought was that there was no way with the shortened off season that they would be able to keep the pace that Bielsa wanted, that energy that Bielsa wanted, the circulation, the attacking nature. I didn't think any of that was going to be able to work with the shortened off season. And they're sitting at 10th right now. And so there may be a lot of shows when people try to explain away their mistakes. This is not one of them. If we mess it up, we own it, right? That's the one thing about this show. I'm owning it.
So basically you're saying that I'm owning up to a lot here on Monday nights.
Well, no, I'm not saying that because I don't put the onus on anyone else to own anything. I only own what I own. And I'm saying that the Maestro Bielsa is proven. He just went like, he walked out of his house with a grenade and pointed that grenade at me is what happened. And I have to acknowledge it. I acknowledge him as the tribal chief. I have to acknowledge the man. No other way around it. The man's doing magical things.
Bielsa could have been an excellent Paul Heyman if he had wanted to go down that road.
He could have been.
He still could.
He could.
He's doing other things that are more important. Sorry, Paul Heyman. He's got Leeds in 10th. They are 9 points out of 5th. They are 10 points out of a Champions League spot, which is insane. The question on the floor from Michael Ruiz, how quickly could Leeds get into a European position? Next year? Year after that?
Here's my question. How long does he stay at Leeds?
The reports right now are that he is actually talking about a 2-year deal. He has always done year by year. Everywhere he's been, year by year. And if he's talking about a 2-year deal, he's been at Leeds longer than he's been anywhere in his career. This feels like something different.
Yeah, which is my thing. It's like, I just kind of kept waiting for that shoe to drop. But you're right. I mean, he's been there for a while. It's just, can he get them to European play in 2 years? Is he playing over his head this year in a way that he might struggle to replicate next year?
You got to keep the team together and add to it. I mean, you can't get diminished in any positions. Calvin Phillips is one of the best in his position in the league. Liam Cooper, Luke Ayling, Patrick Bamford, guys that nobody really thought much of or are doing the business. Dallas. I mean, we could name the whole roster. Yes, of course. But there's some players you've got to upgrade. And that's going to be the thing, because this team as it's currently constructed is not a European team. They're not quite at that level. I think they are about what they are because you have to factor in the way he has them playing. He's got guys who are suited to it. So 10th place, they feel like a solid 10th place. They feel like a solid mid-table who can beat top teams, but who can also lose to teams around them. They're 14 wins, 14 losses, and 3 draws. 49 goals, 49 against. I mean, they are right in the middle. They're going to have to spend some money to be a European-level team, and now that you got in the door to the Premier League, you got a year under your belt, you're going to finish with a good position, so that's going to be a little extra money. If you spend on the right guys, and Bielsa's never been a star guy, he wants the right guys who understand the way he's going to play. If you get the right guys and upgrade the level of play in certain positions, they could be a European-level team next year. They could be at the end of next season. But you got to hit on your signings, and you got to be willing to spend some money and not lose out in any positions.
Yeah, and
John?
I think that Rod Rosani and the 49er investment, we've seen for those that, and this is from the championship level, obviously, but for those that saw the Leeds special that ran, you saw that Rod Rosani, when he came in, he wanted to invest and he wanted to get them to the Premier League. Now that you're in the Premier League, you know that he wants to invest more. The 49ers investment capital is also should be a part of this discussion too. So I could see them getting right there. And I think that what they're looking at is getting in the discussion, hanging out, fourth or fifth, and then solidifying that in 2 years. So I could see this being a 2-year project.
I think you also have to look at the teams that are going to be potentially replacing it in the European windows and what they're going to be doing. There's going to be questions about if West Ham can sustain. There's going to be questions about what's going to happen with Leicester City. Can they maintain that? I mean, from the past couple of years, looks like they can, but they're one of those teams where if you lose the right people, suddenly everything's up into question. Is Chelsea going to move up? Is Liverpool going to move up? What happens with Mikel Arteta at Arsenal? Carlo Ancelotti at Everton. These are questions that are going to have to be answered, because if Carlo gets some investment at Everton, they could very well move up, and you're having to compete with these fellow rising clubs. So I think you're right. I think it's probably about 2 years out. If they can do that, I would really want them to do it next year, just so that way we can have 2 years of European Bielsa mixing in. I really want that to happen. I don't want them to get to Europe and then Bielsa says, I'm going to go, paint cows or something for, a couple of years before
middle distance like Bagger Vance.
Yeah, but he does that for a couple of years and then he decides he's going to take over like Tulsa FC or something. Who knows? But I want European Bielsa before we get to that point.
I think it's going to take them getting in next year for that to happen. And if he does a 2-year deal, his last year would be a European season. I'd love to see how he manages that. I'd love to see his style doing a Premier League season and a European season and see if he can build a team that can handle that type of stuff. Yep. Burned with a really good point, said maybe this club has adjusted to him rather than him having to adjust to traditional club structures. Like City was built around Pep rather than Pep adjusting to City. Mm-hmm. City was built with Pep Guardiola in mind. They knew they were going to get him at some point. They knew it was going to happen. They didn't know when. They put the right group of people around him, including a lot of the people that he had been with at Barcelona well before he got there. So it was Pep just drops right in. He's comfortable, and he stayed there longer than anybody thought he would, and he's stayed there longer than he stayed anywhere else. Bielsa's probably the same thing, and that's probably why he ended up taking the gig, was he had the expectation that would happen, and they've lived up to everything that they promised him, and probably more. So it's an amazing story, and I don't think we're towards the end of the book yet. I think there's more to come.
I hope you're right. I think it's one of the best stories in English soccer at the moment. Going from a manager who we all want to stay to one who almost universally everyone wants gone now, Jose Mourinho. Is it time?
Oh, it's been time.
What was that?
It's been time.
It's been time.
The milk got sour a long time ago.
Well, okay, so Jason says it's been time. John, Anglin?
End of the year, but the thing is that he might be too expensive to fire.
Ooh.
With that contract. There was no buyout. It's basically an all or nothing kind of a thing. So it would have to be in the neighborhood of £30 million if you fire him before the end of his deal right now.
How long of a deal does he have?
I think it's another 2 years, but it was when he signed it, it was right up there with one of the most expensive contracts that a manager could have. It was right up there with Simeone.
Well, do you want to be in the bottom half of the league next year?
Guys.
Just trade places?
Yeah.
If they need to cut a check, or it's going to get worse. It doesn't get better from this point. If you've watched Jose before, it's only going to get more sour from here.
Yes.
Summer of 2023, no exit option, according to David Ornstein.
Yeah, I mean, if you ride that out because you don't want to pay a buyout, you will be broken. Harry Kane will be gone. Son will be gone. You will have nothing coming through. Maybe he can go sign Fred again from Manchester United and bring him in. Woo! You'll be a broken club. He will break them.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to sell Kane or Son anyway because they're not going to see Champions League this year. I think that's a pretty safe option.
And that's the problem. That was why Jose was there.
Right.
So you've already screwed it up.
And you have to wonder if you are a Spurs fan right now. You try to go the ideal route previously, right? You tried to you had that fantastic, fun Argentine system going, and that didn't really work out for you. You were so close, and then it just all kind of went sideways. You didn't really invest with the man. What can you do? And then you get Jose Mourinho, who's going to come in, and he's going to elevate you. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be just garbage at times to watch, but he is supposed to elevate you.
Evening Bandit.
There you go. And
that's Jose when he cashes that check.
Oh,
exactly. And now you are getting sour Jose very early. And so you're right. I think, Jason, you're right in the fact that it's not going to get any better. But if you are a Spurs fan, I mean, good Lord, what do you guys have to do?
Will says, if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm thinking it's time for a 2014-17 Braves move. Jarrett, translate for the non-baseball folk.
Oh man, you're talking about you're talking about tearing it all down and down to the studs and possibly rebuilding some of the studs
in a new building. Ooh.
In a new building, and you're setting your timeline of we'll be competitive at certain point down the road, but we're going to acquire as much young talent as we can, and we're going to see what works and try and build this up. But of course, world football doesn't work the same way as Major League Baseball, y'all.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to get that farm system developing hot prospects anytime soon.
No, and you're not going to be like the Washington Nationals, who were a laughing stock of a franchise, and who kind of turned things around when back-to-back drafts they took Bryce Harper and Steven Strasburg, two of the most sure bet number one overall picks that you were ever going to find in baseball. Don't know if they'll both be Hall of Famers, but those are two of the best one picks you could have ever stumbled across. They also did a great job drafting other guys like Jordan Zimmerman and Anthony Rendon. Don't get me wrong, but there's a level of luck that goes into all of that with baseball. Like you said, you don't have that you don't have a draft where Tottenham can say, "Hey, we're going to suck this year, but it's okay because we're going to get we're in position to sign some young, exciting, brilliant player who's going to be cost-controlled for a number of years." That doesn't happen. Good luck, Spurs.
Guys,
you're going to need it.
I have a solution.
Oh,
yeah?
No.
My solution is brilliant.
Yeah?
There's a man who is specifically gifted in this kind of situation. Cost controls. Aggressive style of play. He's out there right now. He wants to be a coach, and no one's giving him a shot to do it. Call my boy Ralph Rangnick.
Why did I know?
Call him.
No.
Call
Well,
him.
did you hear? Well, you heard the news this morning.
Call him. Get him out of Russia. My God. How dare?
What's the ruble to pound measurement? How much has Brexit hurt the pound against the ruble?
Well, it depends on who's backing that ruble exactly at the moment. That's the big
I was
thing.
like, what time of day is it?
Right. So I'm just saying, if we have to tear it down to the studs, there's one man out there who has proven time and time again he can do it. Now I know Burns ready to blow up the Twitch pitch right now with my saying that. And I have to say, I'm very disappointed that he took the Russia gig because
it's still allegedly at this point, I think.
What is this?
I think it's still allegedly.
Okay, well, if it's allegedly, okay. But look, when part of Rangnick's background is an immense admiration for Valery Lobanovsky, who was the manager at Dynamo Kiev, and to go anywhere else except Dynamo Kiev for him, I think is a little. I think it's a little. I'm not a fan, shall I say? I'm not a fan of this.
So
it doesn't feel right.
Is 9,400 British pounds.
Yeah, dude, just call up Dan Levy and say, all right, I can take this thing down to the studs. I can keep us competitive for 2 years. You give me full control of player selection in the academy, and I will get this thing running. It will put it on a 4-year window. You're going to be back in Champions League and competitive.
Well, you can do that if you sell Harry Kane and Son for like $200+ million too.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to sell them both. Yeah, you got to sell them.
Open up bidding for them and goes, hey, you guys who don't get Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk.
Yeah, 100%.
That's right. We got the guy.
Mondays with Reddit.
Ralph Rangnick was at the Moscow Derby between Lokomotiv and Spartak yesterday. Lokomotiv have presumably short-term made him their sporting consultant. They wanted to make him their sporting director. Didn't materialize. Reports out of Germany say that Rangnick would demand an annual salary of 3.6 million euro from Lokomotiv. Sport Buzzer in Germany. Yeah, the Sport Buzzer says that Rangnick's not interested in the sporting director role long term and is still being considered as Yogi Löw's successor. The German national team, Ralph Rangnick, that sounds like somebody has hit the crack pipe.
I'm thinking this whole entire thing in Russia pins to like, he's going to take this consultant job, and Putin's going to come down on the field to ask him to run the German or the Russian national team in Qatar.
I mean, the problem is there are individuals in that system who you don't want to say no to. And the best way to avoid that is to not get into business with them to begin with. So, Ralphie boy, I love money as much as the next person, but my man, get out of Russia.
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, go call Dan Levy, make the move happen. I'm just saying, press. It happened.
Which washed up mess of a coach is going to get the Tottenham job next? Let's find out together.
Harry Redknapp.
Get out.
All,
Don't even bring that name into the show ever again.
Klinsmann for Tottenham.
Don't bring that name into the show
Harry Kane
ever
looks
again.
like the new discount Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Is there anyone on the Twitch pitch? I mean, he kind of looks like bootleg Captain America.
He absolutely does.
Just throwing that out there.
Burns says Rangnick.
It's amazing.
Burns says Rangnick making 3.5 million euro when Steve Bruce makes £1 million is actually a bargain for his services.
True.
That's accurate.
Accurate.
I mean, if you're Newcastle, if you're Spurs, if you are any of these teams, and I look, Fulham, you guys can love Scotty Too Hotty all you want, but it's time for that. It is time for G. Willikers frat boy to hit the bricks and bring in someone with some competency to get the job done, or tear the damn thing down to the studs and rebuild them and get them back up, because they're sinking. There's no coming back.
G. Willikers frat boy.
I'm just saying.
I bet Neil Lennon would take that job at White Hart Lane.
Chucked in a creek.
Neil Lennon could get chucked into a creek, yes.
Very quickly.
Scotty Too Hotty used to get chucked in the creek too.
If they get relegated, I think he does.
I think, yeah.
And I think they might. Brad has apologized for eating sausage gravy the last couple weekends because Big Sam's won back-to-back games. And I think there's a connection. I think there's a disturbance in the force because of this gravy, Brad. I'm going to have to ask you to stop.
Stop the gravy.
For the good of all that is holy in this game.
Humanity.
Fulham does play some attractive soccer at times, Alex Pacine. Alex is also a Newcastle fan, so anything resembling an actual completed pass would look that way to a Newcastle fan. Sorry, Alex. It's your manager. I can't stand your manager. I just can't stand Steve Bruce because he's got Alan St. Maximin and Miguel Almiron, and he somehow bores us all with those two.
That's a special talent.
It's a special something. Talent wasn't the word I was going to go with, but it's a something.
Hashtag sarcasm font.
It's no, it's just it's garbage because Steve Bruce doesn't even get that. He's horrible. He makes me angry. Question, Nick, for you before we get into some business to take care of. What'd you think about your boy Cristiano stomping off after the Juventus game? Just stomping off.
Hey, look, I don't put too much stock in anything Ronaldo does that involves him stomping off.
I think
the kid got the jersey, right?
True.
At least the kid got the jersey when he took it off.
The description I would give is a hissy fit.
Well, everything's a hissy fit to him because he is not on a team that's on an upward trajectory. And if it is at the top, it's not plateauing and maintaining. He's recognizing that now, and I think for the first time in his career, Father Time is not just nipping on his heels, is grabbing onto those sculpted calf muscles of his and hanging on with every last breath, and he could feel it. So that's fine. Stomp and kick and do whatever, and then immediately go up to Agnelli's office and say, if you don't get me out of here, you're not going to get much out of me next year. I can promise you that. I will have some sort of injury that will keep me out for God knows how long, and I will be eating unseasoned chicken breasts and triple distilled virginal tap water from the mountains of like Lake Minnetonka or whatever. I will have it ferried and flown in, and you will never see me on the field because I have blank you money. Agnelli, I have blank you money. That means I can sit at home and do whatever I want. And so while I sit at home and count my money and drink my waters of Lake Minnetonka and eat my unseasoned chicken breasts and do whatever it is I do in my free time, you're going to continue to suck. So why don't you just move me and get it over with? So, but look, I have zero sympathy for this man because he's the one who signed up with the dinosaurs right before the asteroid hit. That's his problem. That Juve squad is busted and decrepit, and it's been that way. And if they miss out on European soccer, which at the moment they're okay, they're in third, but if they miss out, they're gonna have to blow the whole damn thing up anyway. And I think he's aware of this. And when Pirlo comes out and says I would give myself a 6 out of 10, brother, that's not your fault. And I don't say that because of all the memories I have of him in a Milan shirt. Read his autobiography, you will understand my love loss for Pirlo is like nothing, because the man's a mercenary. I've got no problems with that. I got what I needed out of him, right? But the problems he's facing at Juventus are not his. The problem is Juve took a guy who had never coached a game in his damn life and put him on the touchline, and then gave him a team of mercenaries and people whose fast twitch muscles and ligaments were held together with 5-pound test line, and sent him out. Okay, well, go win us the Scudetto and win us a Champions League. That's a whole lot of Juve problems. Paratici and Agnelli, that's all them. So, the same issues that people talk about with the Braves, where they say Liberty Media treats the Braves as like just a line on the budget. Yeah. Exor's doing the same thing to Juve. So, it couldn't happen to a finer club, in my opinion. But I think that that's what's happening right now with Ronaldo. He's feeling.
One more thing.
Juve or the Braves? I feel like this pettiness is a two-directional thing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's got the Y split on it. One more thing before we get into picks. There are reports, and we'll dig into it a little bit more tomorrow. Manchester United are in talks to buy A-League club Central Coast Mariners and relocate them.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United is getting into the
East
club
Coast?
game. Yeah, well, they can't be the Central Coast anymore, I guess. They'd have to be a different coast.
Yeah, it's going to be to a suburb of Sydney is where they're talking about moving them. And now keep in mind that City Football Group has a team in the A-League as well, Melbourne City. So it's an emerging market, the A-League is, and they're wanting to take advantage of that. I get it. Apparently the league's been the team's been in some financial straits.
Yeah, they have.
For a little while. So as much as I hate the idea of relocating a team, if financially they're going to sink anyway, then I would rather that team move somewhere else and survive. Unlike the Winnipeg Jets, who, in my opinion, can set themselves on fire and,
Don't get me started about Atlanta Spirit.
Roll around in donkey poo for all I care.
Do not.
Hey, man, if Calgary still doesn't want to give the Flames a facility, I got a place for the Flames to come home to.
Woo!
That could work.
Come home and put that Fire A jersey back on. Let's pretend the whole thing didn't happen up there in Canada.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
Sign me up.
fair.
I'll be a season ticket. The minute they come back, I'll be a season ticket holder.
I can
I
support
was
that.
stupid broke for the Thrashers. I went to every game I could whenever tickets were offered. But you put the Flames back down here into town, and it will be merch bonanza. Just letting you know.
Oh, and to give everybody an idea, the full purchase price for City Football Group for the Melbourne Heart back in 2014, initially 11, and then they paid basically 13 and a quarter for the whole 100% by the time they were done.
13 a quarter in U.S. dollars or euros or
Australian dollars.
Australian dollars. What's that mean?
So I will convert it quickly.
Is that 0.89?
Yeah, I don't know any idea which side of one it's on.
I'd say 0.89 to 0.93.
Bring back the Nordiques too, and then somebody powerbomb Lindros through a table just for good measure.
Yeah, can support this.
The conversion rate for $1 US to the Australian dollar is 1.31 Australian dollars. So basically 2/3. So 2/3 of 13.
Stronger than I thought.
That's the other way around, John.
Okay, so then 3/2. So time and a half of 13. So basically like 20.
Okay. That's a pretty good deal for a professional team in a pretty decent league in the A-League.
That's value, baby.
All right. Y'all been trying to come up with things to talk about because you don't want to get into the real business of the show.
No. I haven't been trying to talk anything.
No, it's
right.
okay. It's all right.
Go ahead. Get your promo.
That was almost very NBA on NBC-ish.
Money.
So, John, what were the results from last week, sir?
Let's see.
Let's go in reverse order to build some suspense. Who was last?
Well, there's no suspense there. It was me. I was 0 for.
0 for 6?
Yeah, because I was trying to I wasn't following the Jarrett philosophy to try to draft off of you.
That's your excuse?
Turn 3 and turn 4 pick different. I just went ahead and started picking different from the beginning.
That's your excuse?
Yeah, it is. I was 0 for 6. So Nick was 1 for 5. He finished at a minus 328.
How much? Oh, so you lost 600. Nick lost 300.
Yeah. Jarrett lost 229.
Yep.
Going 1 for 5.
Yep.
And the other guy was 2 and 4 and finished at a plus 67.
Oh, that's all I want. In the positive money. The only one.
Oh, 2 for 4?
2 for 6.
2 and 4. Only 1, 2 of the 6.
Yeah. It was a bad week for all of us.
And yet he's over here talking about like he put a man on the moon when one of his games that he won was the one of the robberies of the century in Argentina. Gustavo, let us know, man. Yeah, Putin on the outside looking in.
That's what got him over the plus.
I would have won anyway.
That's not funny.
But I would have won anyway because it would have been a draw.
Anyway, it's just that you would have been less and you would have lost less.
Yeah.
This got you on the plus side.
Yeah. So, Gustavo did show up in the Twitch pitch. He wanted to make sure that we knew he wasn't hiding. He still might.
Gustavo, know who was riding with you.
He still might show up outside of my place at some point. But all I've really got to say is...
Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah! 5 out of 8. 5 out of 8 times we've done this.
Mm-hmm.
I've won 5 times.
Yeah. And you already cut your I'm tired promo or bored promo.
Which, yeah, I mean, 5 out of 8. The first thing was, he's picking all the games, so of course he's going to win. Okay, you guys pick the games. Won that too. So, here's the rules. As we all know at this point, we're gonna go through this a little quickly because we've got the run-up coming up at 9 o'clock, previewing Atlanta and Alajuelense. I get 2 picks. There is 1 consensus pick. Everybody else gets 1 pick. I can veto picks because I am the defending champion.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
So then for the sake of celerity, do you want to put your 2 picks in first?
No, that's not how it works, John. That's a good try, though. We will get into Tuesday. Champions League action. Chelsea and Porto. PSG and Bayern. You got Santos and San Lorenzo, which is pretty much done. John, you've got some championship if you want to go down that road. Sheffield Wednesday hosting Swansea. Huddersfield hosting Bournemouth. There's League 1 and League 2. All kinds of stuff if you want to get crazy, John. Anything jumping out to anybody here?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and burn mine. I'll take League 1, Doncaster Rovers, and Burton Albion at 2 o'clock.
Get that garbage out of here. We're not picking that game.
All right, so there's your veto.
Well done, John. Get him to burn the veto, the first veto early.
That's fine. We're not picking that garbage.
Yes. Well done. Expert.
Then the consensus game for Tuesday would probably be PSG and Bayern. Yeah. I think that's okay with everybody because that is probably the biggest game of the week.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll say PSG Bayern needs to be done.
All right. PSG Bayern, what are the numbers, John?
PSG and Bayern, what are the numbers, John? Looking at Champions League, PSG is a plus 191. Your draw is a plus 309, and this is just for the game. This is not
this
the
game. Yep.
Your draw for this game is a plus 309. Bayern is a plus 124.
John, you were last. You go first.
I'll go draw.
Draw and PSG goes through.
Yep.
Okay. Nick?
Do we have an injury report yet for Bayern?
Ooh, I have not seen one. Let me see if there's an update here. For Bayern, what I am seeing on SofaScore, Boateng, Goretzka, Roca, and Sula out. Lucas Hernandez, Kingsley Coman, doubtful. For PSG, Marquinhos and Bernat out. Icardi, doubtful.
Oh, well, Icardi's handing out popcorn on the stage.
Yeah, Wanda
He's doubtful.
is there just as much.
There's a lot of doubt when it comes to him. He is full of doubt. We are all full of doubt about Mauro Icardi.
That's his injury, doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, out popcorn. Yes. Yeah, do your shift and take your break, Mauro. All right, I will take. I'm going to take Bayern. I don't think they lose multiple games that often. I'm going to have to take Bayern.
So you think they win, and do they go through?
I think they win, but I don't think they go through.
So it'd have to be like what, a 2-1 win or something. I think that would do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If PSG scores,
because they scored 3,
it's 2-1 Bayern.
PSG would go through on that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Jarrett?
I'm going to spit in the face of God and say the PSG wins this outright.
Wow.
Well then, I am not going to go with that. I am going to go with Bayern winning and going through.
Okay.
I think Bayern overturns it and they go through. So Bayern gets the win. All right. That is the Tuesday game. That is the consensus pick. Let's go to Wednesday. You've got Gremio and Independiente del Valle. You've got Atletico Nacional and Libertad in Libertadores. You've got Toronto and León in CONCACAF. You've got Club America, Olimpia. You got Philadelphia and Saprissa. You got Liverpool and Real Madrid. You got Dortmund and Manchester City. You got second leg of the Recopa in South America with Palmeiras and Defensa y Justicia. Anybody feel strongly about anything? I mean, we got those two Champions League games. Liverpool and Madrid is a fascinating one.
That is the one I think most eyeballs will be on.
Yeah. I'll throw one of my picks on it. That's fine. It's a game we need to talk about. So Liverpool and Madrid, what are the numbers, John?
Liverpool a plus 100, even money. And this is just for this game. Draw, plus 297. Real Madrid a plus 252.
Real Madrid, pretty much the whole team's injured. Like everybody. They're all hurt. Lucas Vasquez now done. Well, although he was, at one point they were talking about him maybe getting the horse tranquilizers out and playing, but he didn't make the trip.
No.
Sergio Ramos, no. Rafael Varane, no. It is bad. It is bad. But they've won back-to-back games. And now they go to Anfield up 3-1. Okay, so Nick, you are up first this time.
I'm going to take a draw.
Draw and Madrid goes through.
Draw and Madrid goes through.
All right. Jarrett?
Liverpool goes through with a win.
Wow.
Stazito.
A big win. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like brought out the baseball bat across the teeth.
Okay. I am going to go with a Madrid win. Madrid wins. No, I think they can do it, but I'm going to go with the Madrid win.
I'll go draw.
I'm entertained by that pick, so I'm just going to stick with it. All right, Thursday. Everybody's got a pick left. Columbus, Real Esteli, no. Monterrey and Pantoja, no. What are the numbers on that one, by the way? They don't even have them. They don't want to talk about
I don't
that.
have numbers posted yet. They just have tomorrow.
Roma and Ajax, Manchester United, Granada, not a good one. Slavia Prague and Arsenal is a fascinating one. Villarreal
I'll go
and
there.
Zagreb. You're going to go Slavia Prague and Arsenal?
Slavia Prague and Arsenal.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so Slavia Prague and Arsenal. Slavia Prague at home is a plus 363. Your draw is a plus 271. Arsenal is a minus 125.
Jarrett, your pick first.
Slavia Prague. Arsenal, I don't trust you. It's nothing personal.
I'm the same way. Slavia Prague.
Yep.
Slavia Prague.
Everybody goes Slavia Prague.
Everybody
right.
goes
so
Slavia
That
Prague.
game will be a push.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
how you say choke job in English. Is
Arsenal?
There's two pronunciations, and that's Spurs and Arsenal. So
Sorry, Arsenal fans and Spurs fans who are watching. Sorry. Gustavo, also sorry for what happened to you over the weekend. Gustavo chimed in on watching the match. The quality and quantity of insults I uttered against the ref was second to none. I jumped to head the roof of my apartment. Besides, he made today an interview accepting his fault. Well, that's good that he accepted that he was an idiot because it was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I did feel bad for you, Gustavo. I did laugh a lot, though, because the pick ended up, giving me the positive. So I thought it was kind of funny for the week. But I felt bad for Gustavo. But I laughed at everything else. Okay. Friday games. We got MLS in the mix. We got Houston and San Jose. We got Seattle and Minnesota. Jarrett, let me repeat. Houston and San Jose is possibly on the board here.
I'm saving this bullet for Saturday. Thank you.
Oh!
Well, we'll see. You might get trumped. Everton and Tottenham is on Friday as well. RB Leipzig and Hoffenheim.
Wait, you already burned your...
I got two. Remember, I'm the champion, Jarrett. You should get used to this by now.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
He's got two picks.
too busy being generous with mine last week.
He's got
and being
two
able to-
picks.
Yeah, I went with the Real Madrid-Liverpool game because it was one we needed to talk about. I was being generous.
Jarrett, you should know by now that heel Jason is not going to abide by the same rules that we gentlemen abide by. So.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
Sound of the ball. After
That was
stupid call down in
Why would
Argentina.
Equates
You know,
do it
he
these
said
days?
That was
he stayed until
Gustavo.
4 o'clock in the morning.
That
putting
crash was Gustavo hitting the roof of his apartment, yelling about that referee. Okay, so Friday, Houston, San Jose, Seattle, and Minnesota.
Friday.
Shut up, John. That's horrible. Everton and Tottenham, RB Leipzig and Hoffenheim, Lille and Montpellier. You got Necaxa and Querétaro. You got Mazatlan and Atlas. Fine. Since somebody wants to talk about generosity, I will go with the sneaky good game of the opening weekend in MLS. Seattle hosting Minnesota.
Woo!
What are the numbers, John?
Seattle minus 123, draws a plus 285. Minnesota United a plus 301.
Loons in the house. Seattle will be garbage for months.
Yep.
John,
It's
you're
not
up.
Zombie Sounders time.
No, it's the first game. They're going to stink.
Early in the year, they're going to be awful.
They're going to stink. John, you're up. Pick.
Minnesota.
Nick.
Yeah, yes. Hopefully my picks have cleansed themselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. I'm going Loons big.
Jarrett.
Well, it's not Lake Minnetonka we're thinking of here. It's Lake Wobegon, but even the old man himself cannot save them from a draw.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. There's something a little different. Okay, Saturday. Jared, I guess you have one you would like, and you would beat anything Nick had because you were ahead of him last week. So what do you want?
Wow.
Let's talk about our boys' first game at Aberdeen.
Uh-huh. There you go. I like it.
Takes on Livingston, who just gave up 6 goals to Celtic.
That's not good.
Scottish Cup. Mr. Glass steps in.
Scottish Cup.
Cup competition.
Do we have numbers, John?
No, we do not have numbers posted yet.
I've been looking everywhere.
All right,
Wow.
so we are picking on intuition here in the Scottish Cup.
Scotland.
Yes. Oh boy. All right.
So, who are they playing?
Livingston. Livingston's a weird animal. They have Livingston had no business being as good as they were last year to the early part of this year. Their manager left because he realized that he was no longer the right guy for the job. They put David Martindale in charge. He rolls off like 14 straight unbeaten. And ever since then, it's just been kind of a mess, unfortunately.
So Stephen Glass is playing a team that is a mess at the moment. This is, no numbers here. Let me see if I can give you anything else to go on.
Livingston's just been, they're giving up goals left and
Well,
right.
I mean-
Martindale was very much in the mindset of, we're going to keep doing what we do. The results aren't going to be there all the time, and they really have not been there recently.
So
I respect him for what he's saying, though.
The last 2 times they've met, they were actually in this calendar year. January 30th, scoreless draw. February 2nd, it was a 2-0 win for Livingston at Aberdeen. This one is at Aberdeen. The Dons have won back-to-back 1-0 victories, and Livingston, before that, Aberdeen was losing 3 of 5. Livingston lost to Celtic in the Premiership on the 10th, and they beat Wraith Rovers in the Scottish Cup 2-1, drew with Hibs, and beat Hamilton Academical after losing 4 of 5. So they are all over the map.
In the tournament itself, Aberdeen is listed as the 4th favorite.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
At plus 800, Livingston is listed at plus 3,300 in the overall to win the tournament.
All right. So This is the 90-minute pick. If it goes to extra time, that goes down as a draw. And it would be John up first.
Draw.
Draw goes to extra time. Who goes through?
Aberdeen.
Okay. Nick?
Give me Aberdeen.
Jared?
Aberdeen in a drug-fueled mess of a game.
I will go with that as well. I don't think it'll be drug-fueled, though. I think it will be Aberdeen 2-0. I think you get the new coach bounce here.
There you go.
So we got one more day of the week to pick. It is Sunday. Nick, you have not chosen a game yet.
No.
So you have Milan and Genoa, Atalanta and Juve.
Atalanta, Juve.
There you go.
You got Napoli and Inter and Torino and Roma, too, if any of those sound interesting.
No.
Okay.
No, because Inter's in the grinded out phase.
All right.
And it's going to be ugly 1-0 wins from here on.
Atalanta Juve is a good one. Numbers, John?
Atalanta is a plus 147. Your draw is a plus 259. Juve is a plus 181.
And Nick, you have first pick.
I'm going to go my boy Gasparini's going to get it done. Atalanta.
Okay.
They're
Jared?
going to win 3-1.
3-1. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, I'm not that brave. Give me the draw here, and Juve's just basically like standing at the top of the ladder, using a foot to keep themselves, pushing everyone else down to keep themselves in Europe.
Draw. I think it's a draw. They've drawn their last 2 times they faced off. I think it's a draw. I think this is the drug-fueled match of the weekend, and it's like 3-3.
Draw as well. So there you go. Selections have been made, written down on paper.
John's trying to run out the door because he doesn't want to talk about finishing last again.
Look, hey, you know what, John? I appreciate the fact that you stay in it, my friend. Don't let this negative Nelly and his
chest puffing thumpingness.
Yeah, that's right.
5 of 8.
That's right.
That's pretty good. 5 and 8's really good.
Trying to keep him in there spending money.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
this scoundrel.
5 and 8.
I know it's like the casinos in Vegas. We're just going to keep pumping the oxygen into Office HD to keep John engaged.
5 and 8 is really good.
Pay the man.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's right.
That's what I'll be saying at the end of the week. Or this.
Me, my money.
Mm-hmm. That too.
All right, heel Jason. I see what's happening here. You're about to
Jason's
get
just
going
to come in one week and do the entire. He's just going to do the coffees for closers monologue one week.
Or he
Cleaned
what
up
he's,
for
or he's gonna no, you don't want to clean it up. Or what he's gonna do is the Cartman thing, the Cartman routine where he's rolling around in the dollar bills and he's just doing that.
Oh, my money. That was actually really good.
That was pretty good.
Twitch pitch. Who's this guy? What's his name? You. That's my name.
Blank you. That's my name.
I like people watching and trying to get the strategy of what's going on here and doing the play-by-play of this monstrosity. Good times. All right. I am due for a minus 600 week. That is true, Burned. I haven't had one of those in our 8 at all.
No,
I've gotten something.
And I agree. I should be throwing in Serie C games in this and trying to make it super stupid and difficult. Maybe when I reclaim my throne, I will throw a few Serie C games in there and we can have some fun.
Hey, I didn't do that. I went with one of the biggest games on the board, Liverpool and Madrid, and I went with an MLS game. Nothing too crazy.
Sure.
I didn't have to go pick against Independiente with their huge, massive positive COVID tests that nobody else seemed to see except for me.
That had nothing to do with the fact that the ref absolutely bottled that game.
Yeah, I still would have won the week, but yeah, I finished in the positives thanks to that referee. He was horrible. Like I said, I felt bad for Gustavo. I didn't feel bad for you guys. I felt bad for Gustavo.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. Gustavo knows who the real ones were. who sat there.
I was the
next
real
to
one.
you,
I picked the one that was going to win the
arm
game. Mm-hmm.
Arm in arm.
Mm-hmm.
We were there. We were not wearing white and blue that evening, sir.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. We were not.
Percy, I will buy you the fake Egyptian kit with my fake money. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
That fake Egyptian kit.
It's pretty nice.
That's pretty clean.
It's pretty nice. You guys have to say goodbye, and we have to have a set change because it is time for the run-up.
Bye.
Where we preview Atlanta and Alajuelense.
Yeah, bye.
Wow.
Yeah. Kevin Patrick has already interviewed Asuka tonight, and Charlotte Flair has run in on the rematch between Asuka and Rhea Ripley. It's going to be a fun Raw.
I thought you were going to say Charlotte Flair attacked Kevin Patrick, and that would have been hilarious.
Hey, she's got to cut a promo at the back. It's human. It could be possible.
Okay.
Good time.
Good time.
All right, Lucha Euro, y'all. I'm not cutting it on Kelly's show. I don't want to catch that heat. I'm out.
Lira.
See you later, alligator.
All right, we are muted. And okay, everybody left. So now, as I go to that, and oops, boom, boom, boom. Hola.
Good evening.
We got a late start, so it was hard to get out of that.
Oh, okay. You're good.
So.
Yeah. I literally rushed home from soccer, so I'm not in the best apparel, but it is what it is.
It's all good. It's been one of those days.
Lighting, I think, is another one of my issues. We're just gonna see if I can do.
All right, we got 255.
Let's see if it's probably going to wear down my battery. I mean, it's a little weird, but it's fine. Can you see my face? Is my face better lit now?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna also then just shut off all the other apps.
We got 218.
Okay, and the intro you said is like 45 seconds?
35.
Okay.
Yeah, just when it starts to fade, you can come on in, and then I will when I hear you, I will switch to the video.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I did adult things, and I did my taxes, and then funny enough, so the IRS lost my taxes for 2019.
Good times.
So yeah, so they didn't accept my 2020.
Oh.
So I have to. Oh, I know, it's a whole thing. So I'm just dealing with a bunch of stuff right now, but it's adulting.
Yay and such.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
It works. So yeah, that was pretty much my weekend. It wasn't anything like super fun.